1097, the First Crusade near Dorylaeum. With Pope Urban II preaching for a holy crusade to recover the Holy Land from the Turks, all good Christians are called to take up arms and serve God. Nobles and commoners alike from all over Europe answer the Pope's call. They form a great crusading army, with France leading the charge. Bohemond of Taranto, a powerful French noble, leads the Crusaders in their holy quest. Marching across Turkish Anatolia, the Crusaders leave behind a wake of destruction on the road to Jerusalem. To reach the city of Antioch, the crusading army must traverse the Kara-Su Valley, then turn and march through the Nandir Valley, a perfect place for an ambush. The Turks, led by their Sultan Kilich Arslan, are alerted to the passage of the Crusaders by a shadowing force of Turkish cavalry. Knowing that the Crusaders must pass through the Nandir, the cunning Sultan blocks the valley, deploying his army to launch a surprise attack. However, unbeknownst to the Turks, the ill-disciplined Crusaders have split their forces, with a secondary contingent trailing behind the first by many miles. The main crusading army, upon entering the valley and encountering the awaiting Turks, attempt to fall back and form a defensive perimeter. Bohemond and his knights bravely deploy themselves in front of the crusading infantry in a desperate attempt to buy them time to regroup. Knowing that there are more Crusaders to come, Bohemond must hold off the Turks and keep his fragile position from crumbling. Only a man with extraordinary faith and righteousness flowing through his veins will be able to bring victory to the Crusaders. The 4th of July, 1187, a few miles west of Hattin. A few days ago, the great Sultan Saladin launched an attack on the city of Tiberias, hoping to draw out the Christian army. He knew that opposing the garrisoned Crusaders would be futile, and his plan to rid the Middle East of the Crusader presence in one battle could only be accomplished in the field. Taking the bait, King Guy of Jerusalem now marches to relieve the city of Tiberias. In the hope of reaching Tiberias as fast as possible, King Guy refuses his men much-needed water from rare springs along the way, a mistake that Saladin will use in his favor when the time is right. Gathering his forces from his camp at Kafasit, the great Sultan Saladin rides to meet them head-on. Saladin's presence forces the Crusaders to redirect their march towards Hattin, where a large spring resides. Saladin must not let them reach Hattin, and the water they sorely need. The Crusaders march in their standard 3-division battle array, the cavalry boxed in by infantry, and King Guy commanding from the centre. Saladin commands from the centre of his army, consisting of cavalry and infantry, most of which are archers. He orders his right division, commanded by his nephew Taqi al-Din, to block the route to Hattin. Saladin's left division, commanded by Gokbori, begin by harassing the Crusader rearguard with archers. More men lie in wait in the hills to the north. Saladin knows that the morale of the desperately thirsty Crusaders lies in the balance. Persistent arrow fire will cause them to lose heart quickly. If Saladin can prevent the Crusaders from reaching Hattin, he can free the Holy Land of the accursed Crusader presence indefinitely.